Kidwell and Fidelis work in the rubberizing bays at the Halfway Production Center. For those of you who might not be familiar with the process, rubberizing means to spray a protective rubber coating onto the cargo area of a pickup truck. The rubberizing work takes place over 3 bays. First, masking tape and plastic covers are used to isolate the parts of the vehicle that need spraying. Then the actual rubberizing takes place in the second stage. Finally, the work is checked and the vehicle cleaned and sent to the car park. Lean has brought a lot of improvement to the work, many of which have been suggested and implemented by Kidwell and Fidelis themselves. It's better ways to organize tools, standardize processes, and improve safety on the job. Fidelis tells me how before Lean he had to climb into the chemicals storage using wooden planks, whereas now a ladder has been installed, a much safer way of working.
It's making my job to be easy. Before it was very poor because I was using the planks to climb there. It's dangerous because if the plank fall down, I'm gonna break my leg.
Work ergonomics have also been improved.
The guy was holding for me the pipe if I'm doing rubberizing. Now they put a stand for holding the pipes.
So now there's a spring balance. Oh, it's better now.
Yeah.
If Fidelis is spraying, me Kidwell, I'm doing other job. I'm masking, skidding. See, the job is faster than last time. We changed a lot of things, like standard working conditions. So I can see myself improving.
But how did these changes come about? The production center opened in February 2016 when the centers of 2 halfway dealerships in the Johannesburg area, Four Ways and Honeydew, were amalgamated. The center receives cars from Toyota South Africa, performs pre-delivery inspections, and fits all the accessories requested by the customer before delivering the vehicles. When the 2 centers merged, people didn't know each other and there were less than optimal processes in place.
We were firefighting. We were, it's a general workshop. We park the car, we do it, we reverse it out. There's no flow, there's no guys in there. We were too busy to actually change anything. I was running around, I had no admin staff, so we were basically doing everything. We were falling around trying to survive.
Initially on site, we only used to do pre-delivery inspections, and we had 1 lane with that. We then added all the fitments onto it, and it was all kind of trial and error, and we'd move the fitments around and some of it failed dismally, and we did a few more experiments that then worked a little bit better. We've moved all of our processes around to try and see which was actually the best way to flow through our system. We're now on value stream 6.1, and we seem to be a lot more stable now. Initially it was a nightmare. We were fighting fires, running around, expediting cars, moving cars, jumping cars, reversing cars. But now we work like a hose pipe. You put 1 marble in, and 330 minutes later you get another marble out. So we seem to have achieved a lot of stability now.
Halfway has 3 lanes at its disposal, which have been set up and rearranged to accommodate one-piece flow. There are 10 different bays: pre-delivery inspection, radio, 2 bays for safety foam, nudge bar, tow bar, 3 bays for rubberizing, and style bar. Each bay has a 30-minute slot to complete its work, with 17 slots in a day. Assuming a vehicle has to visit all bays, it will be ready in 5.5 hours. Prior to Lean being introduced, a sales manager would have to wait up to 5 days for a car to be delivered, even when it only needed some of the possible fitments. Putting things in a flow has led to an impressive time compression. There are a few important rules in the way the flow is organized. Work on a vehicle only starts when the car and all necessary parts are present and when there is a slot available. Vehicles are never reversed. Instead, they go from one bay to another, depending on the work they need, driving in loops around the workshop. Once completed, the vehicle awaits delivery in the car park.
The flow has made the biggest impact, but the people involvement and now being able to move, the multi-skilling, that's a game changer completely. So a lot of them came from not so nice backgrounds. It took us about three to 6 months to actually get them to trust us. Trust was, I think, the #1 thing that we got right. We actually had to change how we behave as managers two problems. We couldn't just jump and shout and scream and shout like everyone else used to. We had to treat them with more respect and actually spend the time with them. Most people, they were fitters, that's all they did. You paid them at the end of the month and that's all that matters. We spent time in the bay with them, helping them, trying to understand. Mornay obviously spent a lot more time with them, but I think just our involvement and being together and even struggling through some of the things together, we built the trust. And from then, we were able to do a lot more experiments with them and make a few suggestions that would maybe lead them down the right path.
We all have our skills, all have knowledge, and you know, we have a tendency to try and force it on other people, saying, well, I know this already, so why can't you just see it? It takes a lot of patience, and one of the big things is to be able to see the problems in yourself before you can say, you know, if someone didn't learn, you know, what did I do wrong, and why didn't I teach, what can I change in the way I taught this person so that he can actually learn this, rather than saying, well, this is a bad learner.
When they tried to impose a new working system on the guys, it didn't stick. That's when Mornay incorporated the Kaizen tasks into the daily management review.
We were too busy, I couldn't do the improvements, and we had to do something about it. We realized quickly that, you know, when you go back after 3 weeks, they say, well, we didn't have this. Well, you know, you could have had it quickly. If you just told me about it, you could have had it quickly. So it was an experiment of going through the motions. The Kaizen task was something we said we're going to put a Kaizen task up. We have some milestones, which means we can encourage guys to try and do it within a certain period of time. Because we're there every day. If you had a problem, we can you know, help you out on the fly. You know, I can use my experience to help you with the problems you have to improve your work, rather than waiting 3 weeks and then having nothing to happen. So the Kaizen tasks, the daily Kaizen tasks, are definitely something to say, let's do it daily. Let's review it daily. Let's talk about it daily. And if you've got anything that you've got an issue with, we are there.
And even I think that interaction every day with them, I think it makes a big difference to them. Where else do you have a manager and people listening to you and saying, what are you struggling with? What can I help you with? You don't find that anywhere. And in South Africa, it's just, you don't have that.
When they start with this thing, I thought it won't work because it was like a lot of changes. Like we don't know what are we doing. But when we trying, after some 3rd month, 4th month, then we start seeing some changes because we never have no more stresses. We know the car came, you check before it will even reach you, and then you prepare everything you have. So when the car comes, you just jump and then you do it.